Is it better to be single or in a relationship?
um so the reason why I had actually thought about this topic was because I was getting, so as you know, like I have no problem with like showing off my man on Instagram, talking about him all the time. Um and I think it's just because it's just so much more different than what I'm used to, right? So I have to, so when someone asks me like, "Oh, like oh, you're just so lucky. Like I can't wait to have something like that." I'm just like, and then I have another group was like, "Oh, no, like you don't know what he's doing behind closed doors and this and that." And I'm just like, it's just the mindset is mind blowing to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, well, do you prefer me to just be single and miserable and alone? And I had a couple people who were just like, I mean, being single is better. And then I had other people like, oh no, like being in a relationship is better, but it depends on the person. So, and I agree with that. I think being in a good when you're in a good relationship, but obviously if you're in a really bad relationship, no, obviously being single would be better. I do feel like people who are single should actually live a single life, like really live their single life before they get into a relationship, because the problem is single people start to get in relationships and then act single in relationships, right? This is where shit goes south all the time. So, personally, where I'm at, my personal opinion, I think it's like so much better to be in a relationship. At the end of the day, we are human and we crave connections and we crave a love that that's so deep, and it's like people act like they don't want that, but in reality everybody wants that. I've spoken that on the before, like nobody wants to be alone. Being alone sucks, you know. um and unfortunately the ratio and how our generation is going, a lot of people are going to end up alone, you know. A lot of people will end up alone and won't end up finding their person, their twin flame, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I think I would have to say being in a relationship is better. I didn't like being single. Granted, when I was single, I was living my best life single, but when I would go home alone, it was a shitty feeling. You know, it was like, I ain't got nobody to talk to, no one to confide in. I had my
Mm,
friends, but it's like I wanted that, though, that connection, right? The intimacy and the love and feeling safe and all of these different things. So, yeah, you could go out, go to the club and live your best single life and think everything is great. But I guarantee you, everybody who's going home, they're not going home happy that they're not going home to somebody. Does that make sense?
right.
Yeah. So, I don't know about what about you, Kia? What do you think?
Man, I think it's better to be in a relationship than be single.
Yeah.
I mean, it has its pros and cons, but
Like everything does, though.
yeah. So I mean, if it's me, if you're at the age where you're at right now, like in your 30s, it's better to be in a relationship because you have your friends, family members having kids. They're getting married. They want to
Mm.
finally settle down because you get to that certain age at that point where it's like, okay, you got a deadline, you got a timeline now. Because you don't want to do it when it's too late though. But some people, they're better off being single. Like I know people just, they're good at just better off being single.
What makes you say that though?
What makes me say that?
Like what makes you say they're better off being single? Like is it because of how they
It just
or
it's just how they portray themselves, their personality. You
mm,
know, some people, I know some people, they're in this long term relationship for numerous years. They're no
mm,
longer with that person, and when they try to come back outside and as what they call it, they're on the
I'm
market. They're
sorry.
on the market, I guess.
I hate
they
that damn
make
term.
they make excuses why they don't want to be with a person, but like, oh no, she's too tall. Oh no, the sex is bad. Oh no,
But it could it be that though because it's not the right person?
Come on, but if you're making excuses every single time, though, you're running through 4 or 5 people, and one of my close friends, like he makes this excuse every single time, where he makes an excuse every single time, like who he wants to, why that person's not right for him. Like he is a close friend of mine. Every single time I talk to him, every single month, he's talking to somebody new, or he's already in a relationship with that person. And when I talk
Wow.
to him, be like, "Hey man, so who's your new girlfriend?" He'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm talking to such and such." I'm like, "All right, man, we'll see how long this lasts."
Oh Lord.
And then when he finally finds her, he'll be like, "Oh, she broke up with me."
Well,
Yeah,
I wonder why. It sounds like he's the problem, in my opinion.
well, yeah, obviously. So I don't know, man. I just think that it's not. It's good to be single, but then again, then it's not good to be single, because if you're used to be single and you don't want those responsibilities, and you
Mm,
know be
mhm.
supportive and be there for your significant other, then maybe that's not for you. But I think being in a relationship is definitely better than being
Yeah,
single.
a good relationship, not a bad
Yeah.
one. Because people be like, "Oh, I want to be, put up with the BS, blah blah blah." Because there's nothing out here in these streets. Nah, y'all. No, I see it a lot where they're like, "Oh, don't leave that person. Just deal with them because there's nothing out here. There's pee in the dating pool, blah blah blah." And I'm just like, but if the relationship is terrible, and your hair is falling out, you stressed out, like why? Fuck that. You need to leave.
And after with that, when I was with my ex for 5 years,
Hmm.
I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad I'm not in a relationship. I don't have real responsibilities. I don't have to spend money on her anymore. All of that."
Stop. So you were
But
relieved?
no, no, yeah, no. But then I was like, I used to have like friends with benefits, you know,
Oh God.
and then I was enjoying it though, because it was two different females and they were cool with it. But then, man, she
Shit.
wanted to get it. She was started catching feelings, wanted
It
to get in a
happens.
relationship, and she was like, "Hey, I can't be doing this. If we ain't gonna be nothing else, then um,
Hmm.
yeah." And I was like, "All right, bye."
You ain't shit.
But now I'm at the point where, like, it is good to be in a relationship, though.
So, are you in a relationship right now still, or you're not in a relationship anymore?
No, I am.
Oh, you are. Okay, 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 okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
yeah,
We
yeah.
haven't talked about that in a while.
Because I was thinking of it, and I was like, damn, I miss being in a relationship. Because you want to share those memories and moments with somebody. But
Yeah.
I know females, they need to be with somebody. Like a female, it's more it need to be in a relationship more than a guy.
No.
Yeah, you don't see a guy saying, "Oh my god, I need to be with somebody. I need to be in a relationship."
I know. No, no, no. You of course you don't see a guy saying that, but their actions speak otherwise. That's why a lot of men go through a whole bunch of women because they're trying to find the right apple at the end of the day. You know, they can portray themselves like, oh yeah, I'm a player. I don't need no woman. Blah blah blah. Men and women need each other. This men versus women shit needs to stop. Like men and women need each other. We were created for one another. You know. Um, and I know a lot of dudes right now, and like I told you before, it's opposite now, right? Where women used to be like, oh, like I want to settle down. Now men want to settle down. And now these women are like, well, F these men. We don't want to settle down. And now men are like longing for these relationships. And it's just so sad.
Look,
Like,
look,
yeah, all these
man.
lover boys out here looking for a wife, and all
You
these
don't
women are
see
like, I want to be a hoe.
you
I
don't
want to be
see
outside.
you don't see a man on social media posting like, "Oh my god, I need," they'll have these
Actually,
lit
I've seen a few reels from a couple of men who are like, I'm looking for a wife that has to have this,
Oh
this, this, and this, and
God.
this, and da 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 da. And you know what? And it's becoming more common now because men are starting to realize, okay, I'm getting, like you just said, you brought up the whole age thing, right? When you start to get up there, you tired of being alone. You want somebody to come home to, you know? And women want to be hoes. They all want to be hoes out in these streets.
Oh wow.
All of them. They want to be hosing out in these streets.
Females, females, they'll have these little cryptic messages on their like Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram where it's like, they won't need to be with somebody. It's really
Deep, deep,
rare.
deep down inside. They
Yeah.
want that. They act like they don't, but all these women want somebody. They just trying to act all hard like they don't need them. Like stop. That's why you're gonna be single because you acting like a man. Stop acting like a man.
Females as the same with guys. They be picky though. It's like,
I blame social media for that. All the stuff that they be seeing, thinking that they can have it too. You know, I'm not saying that they can't, but some of the shit is very fucking unrealistic. Like,
mm.
so it's very unrealistic. Ladies, please stop looking at couples on social media thinking like, oh, well, if they have that, I can have that too. You don't know what the hell's going on behind closed door with these people. You don't know what's going on with them. They could be dealing with a whole cheating scandal you don't even know about. Like, please sit down somewhere.